15th topic, that is Stokes law. Stokes law nothing but related to viscosity, viscous force. So first let me just tell you the meaning of viscous nature of a liquid. If you pour some water on the surface, they move very quickly. But on the same surface, if you pour some oil, they move very slowly compared to water. On the same surface, if you pour some honey, it moves even slower than that. So, the nature which is trying to control the flow of the liquid or speed of the liquid, that nature is called viscosity, and the force which acts between the layers of the liquids, we call it as viscous force. That's why the viscous force depends upon area of the imaginary surfaces or layers of the liquid and the velocity gradient. So what is the velocity gradient between the means? What is the speed and what is the distance between the layers? So it is proportional to both of them, and the proportionality constant is called eta, that is coefficient of viscosity. And here negative sign represents what? The negative sign represents the frictional force or opposition to flow. It is nothing but frictional force in case of fluid also. So sometimes they get the question based on this direct formula, but less chances. But just take care of units of neta, that is Poiseuille or poise. So 1 Poiseuille equal to 10 poise. So Poiseuille is SI unit, poise is CGS unit. After that, the second one is Stokes law. What is Stokes law is? It tells about the velocity, the viscous force acts on a solid or spherical body which is moving through a liquid. So consider a spherical body having radius r. It is moving through a liquid, viscous liquid with a speed v. Then the viscous force acts is proportional to the nature of the liquid, nothing but coefficient of viscosity and radius of the body size and the speed. Greater the speed, greater the force. Lesser the speed, lesser the force. And the proportionality constant is 6 pi. So this is what the equation given by Stokes law. Now based on this Stokes law, if you consider the same spherical body when it is moving through the liquid, suppose you drop it. If you drop the body, then speed slowly increases. If you draw the graph between speed, then the speed increases and it becomes constant. Or else if you throw it with a greater velocity, it decreases and becomes constant. So whatever the constant velocity, like this you can represent in this manner. The constant velocity, that means the resultant force 0, that means at one particular point inside the liquid, upward buoyancy and upward viscous force must be balanced by downward weight. At that moment the velocity of the body remains constant, and that constant velocity, what we call it as terminal velocity. From this equation you can derive it as 2r square by 9 eta rho minus sigma g, where rho is density of the spherical body, sigma is density of the liquid, r is radius, eta is coefficient of viscosity. Now the one more thing is, for a liquid, whether it is turbulent or not. So depending upon the nature of the fluid, you can define that for a particular speed it maintains its steadiness. Then after that it will become turbulent. So the maximum velocity up to which it can be steady, that velocity we call it as critical velocity, and that critical velocity is depends upon rho, neta and r. So here r is the radius of the pipe through which it is flowing. So here the proportionality constant is called Reynolds number. So that Based on this also sometimes questions will be asked. So this is all the types of question they can ask. Let us try to understand two questions so that you will get or you will come to know how to use these formulas or what kind of question generally they will ask. Now consider the very first question. What is the very first question? The very first question is water coming out from pipe at 100 liter per minute. So the Reynolds number formula is rho VR by eta. Now here if you take the values, neta is 10 power minus 3 Poiseuille and density of the water is 1000 kg per meter cube and speed they are not given, but radius is 5 into 10 power minus 2 meter. If you find the velocity, then you can get it. But here they have not given the velocity. They have given something else data. Water coming out from pipe at 100 liter per minute. So that what we can use is the continuity equation, that area into velocity remains constant. So that is the volume efflux, that is volume per second. So that the A into V value is given as 100 liter. How can you convert liter into meter cube? 10 power minus 3. 1 liter is 1000 cc. 1 cc equal to 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Therefore, it will become meter cube. In terms of meter cube, if you consider 1 liter equal to 1000 ml and 1 ml is 1 cc and 1 cc means 10 power minus 6 meter cube equal to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. It is for 1 liter, but here 100 liter. So 100 times 10 power minus 3 and divided by, what is this? We want speed. So speed equal to divided by area. Area is pi r square, where r is 5 into 10 power minus 2. So if you substitute, it will become 10 power minus 1 by pi is, let's take pi as it is, r is 25 into 10 power minus 4. So 10 power minus 4 will go upside. So 10 power plus 3 by 25 pi. So V equal to 1000 by 25. So 40 by pi meter per second. So this is the speed. Once you get the speed, then you can substitute here. We have the every value. So this way they can ask question based on Reynolds number. The other kind of question they can ask based on either direct viscous force formula or they can ask based on terminal velocity. So here they have given a question related to terminal velocity. So terminal velocity for a solid sphere falling through some viscous liquid is V1. If it breaks into 27 spheres suddenly, whatever may be the reason, but it breaks into 27 spheres, each terminal velocity is how much now? V2 through same fluid. Then find V1 by V2. So V1 is, or just take the terminal velocity formula, 2r square by 9 eta rho minus sigma into g. It is falling through same liquid and same material. So rho is same, sigma is same, g is constant, neta is constant. Only thing what is changing? Size, because one solid sphere is divided into 27 similar or identical spheres. Small size is changed. That's why you can take V proportional to r square. Now initial radius if you consider r, then you have to find what is the final radius. Here it breaks into some numbers, but the total mass remains what? Constant. Total mass nothing but total volume remains constant. What is the initial volume? The initial volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now what is the final volume? It divides into 27. 27 times 4 by 3 pi r dash. What is r dash? Radius of each drop after dividing. Now 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi cancel. So r cube equal to, I can write it as 3 cube r dash cube. So r equal to 3 R dash. Then you can compare here that V2 by they are asking V1 by V2. So V1 by V2 equal to R1 by R2 whole square. Nothing but R1 is initial R and R2 is R by 3 whole square. It will become how much? 9. So V2 will become V1 by 9. Or V1 by V2 how much? 9. So this way you can get the questions based on, this is one of the previous year question based on Stokes law. So this is how you can deal with the Stokes law, one of the important in the mechanical properties of liquids. So hope you all understood and you will practice the things based on this one. So just formulas. Remember the formula, do the calculation properly so that you will get the questions. And based on this, breaking into several number or merging also, sometimes questions will be asked that based on surface tension. So let us continue that thing or let us study that thing in our next session in surface tension. So thank you.